January 1st, 2014. This is the X-ray flux chart out of Boulder, guys. Notice it says GOES X-ray flux top left. That's a satellite, and I'll show you. But we've had almost an X flare. It's classified now as a 9.9, as close as you can get. Powerful, just off. It's not exactly Earth facing. Now this is a prominence we've been watching there on the bottom left. That is not the flare. This has caused a large coronal mass ejection. Watch it be caught up as it pulls out. It'll be caught up into the magnetic lines of that flare, just the sunspot just above it. Watch it be pulled back in. It's amazing. But guys, that sunspot coming around is huge. Now this X flare, again, that's not it. That was a CME. It came off just off center to the right of the sun, and we're going to have effects from it. Now I'm going to show it to you in a couple of different images. But this prominence is amazing. We've seen these before, and you've seen twisters, guys, that were a fourth or fifth this size. A lot of things going on. You can barely see that in the left there, but watch the flare here, and I'm going to play it back. These are all Earth-facing images from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Here, you can see where it oversaturated the camera at that point. Again, Earth-facing images. This is an overlay of 3 images. It gives us different filters so we can see different things. The dark purple spot in the square is pure heat. Now, the sunspot coming around, you can see it in the far left and in the center and to the right. Those are ones we're watching. 1936 is where we got the 9.9 from. Look at the size of this hole coming around, guys. Now, 2 sunspots, 1936, 1934. Now, 1934 is off to the far right. You can't see the number on it, but 36 is where we got the 9.9. Now, 38's in the center. It's alpha, but coming around above 1943 is this hole in the sun, this giant sunspot. Check this out, guys. 1942 is just above it. Now, I want to show you something that happened down in Vanuatu. We had a 6.6 today at about 1620 hours. I'll show you on the chart UTC time. But this area is very active. It's a highly tectonic active region. It's where 2 plates have met and buckled and cracked and spiraled together for millions of years. Now, that said, there's a lot of pressure on Earth, and of course the first places that are going to feel this pressure are the weakest points. See this? Now notice today at 1603 universal time, 6.6. Okay. Now it's showing that after midnight they're showing 2 different times there. It could be aftershocks, but there's a 6.6 there. It's close to this island, and when it happened, I checked the national or the world tsunami event notice, and it was nothing. I checked the Pacific everywhere. There was no tsunami notices. It was deep, though. That's probably why I think over 100, like 126 miles deep. But this is this is a volcano, guys. It's close to this area that's getting this pressure. Now, we've seen 2 volcanoes go off the last 2 days. So watch these areas, and of course they're active because they are in the weakest points. It's kind of like the fuse or the breaking point. This is one of those areas. Also, there's an area like this, guys, between the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, especially if you point southeast and go into the Cayman Trench. You have another area like this. But you can pause this and read any of it. But again, I checked here. All regions, no current warning or advisory. This is Pacific tsunami warning. See at the top, and that's where we would be looking at. The 1 indicates that's the alert bulletin there. Event 1 again. But now, I've talked about this a long time, guys. And when these flares, and we've seen them since the 26th, the 28th, the 29th, 31st, and the ones today, and they're starting to pile up on our magnetopause, our shield. And look at this. I've drawn a red line to the right to give us a reference point. It's not gonna move. And notice how our magnetic shield is collapsing here. In the very center is the white and black dot is the Earth. The white side is sun facing. That's where we're getting these flares from. Stop it. Now here our pressure is building at 1520. 40 minutes later is when the quake hits. But we've been getting pressure since 1400 UTC. but that's the weak point. And these are strong flares. Watch some of the impact. You've seen it where I was stopping and pausing, how much it moved from the normal. And it's if you don't understand the magnetic lines, it's like the Earth's inside a water balloon that's being pushed, but the Earth has tectonic plates like a cracked boiled egg. You see that compression, guys, there, and that release. The tectonic plates move both times. The stronger that it is, the more tectonic plate movement we have. I tracked a 1.7 X flare come in the day the Fukushima quake hit. I've done videos on that. But that's what we're seeing, guys. And people tell you the sun and these flares do not affect the earthquakes. They're lying to you, because they do. And this is one way to watch it. When you see one of these big flares, you can check this chart out. And on those compression events, you can almost time them, sometimes 30 or 40 minutes, because you've got time from that red line to Earth. And that's why you see that. But pressure started at 1400, and we had the quake then. But it's a heads up, guys. All you guys that called in and listened on the show today, it was great. Everybody was so polite. See you tomorrow, 2:30 Central. Heads up.